Hey guys, Lally here. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to start a profitable consulting business with no money and no expertise. Now that might sound quite strange, but a few years ago, that is exactly how I started my consulting business, with no money down and no expertise as well. It's just how I learned it going along. So by the end of today's video, you should have like a step-by-step process you can follow, which can help you start a profitable consulting business. Okay, so step one, if you are going to start a consulting business, you need to know what you are going to be consulting in. And how you do this is basically you find an idea which is profitable. Now, how do you find an idea? Now, what I'm going to do is break down this segment into two parts. First of all, finding the idea. Second of all, making sure it's profitable. So firstly, when it comes to finding an idea, the best thing for you to do is to actually get an idea that you are passionate about. Because sometimes you can start a business and you can go through a stage where you aren't making any money whatsoever, and it can feel like a bit of a grind. So this part is really key. Find something that you are passionate about. And if you don't know what you are passionate about, turn to what your interests are. What I would recommend doing is actually getting a piece of paper or a Word document and typing up exactly what your interests are. And you can even go to friends as well and ask them what they think your strengths are, what they think your interests are. What do you talk about with them all the time that they can't seem to shut you up about, and make a note of what that topic is. If you're also struggling for ideas, you might want to actually go through your search history and check what you've been searching for and spending most of your time looking at. For instance, I absolutely love YouTube. My search history is giant on it. And if I was actually going to go through my search history on YouTube, I'd probably find that it mostly consists of wealth, sales, marketing, negotiation, psychology, things like this. I love watching this all the time. So if I was doing this exercise, I'd first of all write that down in a list of what my interests are, because I know I'm passionate about it. I can watch that stuff for hours. The second part to this is making sure your idea is profitable. And when you make sure your idea is profitable, what you want to be doing is make sure that your idea solves a problem in the marketplace. Business is all about providing solutions to problems. And if you can't solve a problem in the marketplace, if your consulting business isn't solving a problem, then it's probably not a very good business idea, or at least it won't be very profitable. Instead, it'll just be like a hobby because nobody will pay you for it. So what I would do after I've made my list of interests, I'd actually visit forums. I'd be Google searching. I'd be going on Reddit and actually looking at the type of people who hang around in like the subreddit or the subsection of the forum there who match your interest. So for instance, if you were very, very interested in psychology or negotiation or video game addiction or life coaching, I'd be going to Reddit and searching those places, searching those specific subreddits and looking through what people are discussing about on a day-to-day basis. And what you will probably find is people will actually struggle with certain problems within your interest. And once you understand what those problems are, you can make a note of them and be like, well, I know person A was struggling with this. I know person B was struggling with this. And then what you can do after that is head over to Facebook, type in the search bar, whatever your interest is, and join the Facebook groups where people also have that interest as well. And what you will find is that in these groups, certain people are talking about problems. So for instance, if you were to join like a fitness group or something like that, you would find that a lot of the people in that group might be concerned with either losing weight or putting on muscle, right? And then this is where you start to formulate your consulting business idea, because now you know you have a problem to solve. So now we've actually found that there is a problem in the market and we need to provide a solution to it. We need to now work on providing a good solution to it. So the first step would be to analyze the competitors or top people or influencers in this field and find out exactly what type of services they are providing to the problem. These guys have probably got a good track record of solving this problem, and they've built up their name by successfully solving it and getting good client results. So we know if there are a lot of competitors in the field, we know it's a very lucrative and profitable field to work in, but we also know as well there is a pretty good solution in this field to the problem. So now what we need to do is learn their solutions, do a bit of competitor analysis and work out what they are doing. And once you've done that, then start reading internet blogs around the topic. Start reading, Reddit about it. Start reading forums, start reading books around the topic you are trying to solve. And once you do that, you can almost guarantee that you will know more than the people who you are trying to help. And once you know more than the people who you are trying to help, then you are considered an expert. That's all there is to it when you are trying to solve a problem, is just knowing more than the people you are trying to help. And during that moment where we are trying to actually master our craft and better our service a little bit, I'd be going out and actually making sure that we can validate this idea. So what I will be doing here is actually going to places where my clients hang out. So for instance, my clients, where I teach small business owners how to generate leads and a strategy behind that, they're obviously hanging out on LinkedIn. Small businesses are usually hanging out on LinkedIn. They do reside on Facebook as well, but they're probably more active on LinkedIn. So that is exactly where my customers would be hanging out. Yours might be on Facebook, they might be on Instagram, they might be on forums. What I would do once you have identified which type of place they're hanging out is I'd be approaching these guys and doing the manual work of connecting with them and sending them a message and saying just really openly, hey, look, really nice to meet you. I've actually got this business idea. I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z at the moment, and I notice you fall into X, Y, and Z group. Would you mind just setting up a 10-15 minute call where I can just talk about my service a little bit, just to see if it's something that actually would resonate for you? I'm just trying to validate my idea, and this is research. Perfectly harmless, perfectly approachable. I've actually used this approach myself in the past, and about 80% of people I messaged were totally up for it, and they jumped on a call with me and I could question them about this. So once you have actually validated that idea, now it's important that you go to the market and start making some sales. It isn't a business if you can't make any sales. It's just a hobby. But we need to be very proactive with our approach when we're trying to get clients on board. So for instance, I'd be going to, again, the places where your customers hang out, and I'd be messaging these people again and seeing if the service was actually interesting to them, and if the offer, what you are offering, resonates well with them. And the majority of people that you message, it won't resonate with them, but that's okay, because you've broken the ice and built up a bit of confidence in actually speaking with people, and that's one of the first sales cycles there. And that's very, very important, to get that confidence underneath yourself. Don't worry about looking silly, and don't worry about what people think of you. Don't worry about people being rude to you. It's very, very rare that people actually are rude to you when you reach out to them. And these concerns actually hold you back. But if you look at anyone that's ever done anything great, it always involved speaking to people. And when a few of these people jump on a call with you, make sure you qualify them, ask them a little bit about the situation, ask where they want to get to, ask what their goals are, and then make sure that you make an offer of your service to them. Another great way of doing this is actually attracting people inbound. And what do I mean by this? Well, I mean adding people to your network and creating content that talks about solving the problem that these people have. And when they see this content, they'll start to understand your service better and start to think, wow, this person actually knows what they're talking about. So for instance, if you were in the fitness industry and you were trying to teach people how to lose weight, I'd be connecting with these people and then making content, making pictures, making media about how people can actually lose weight. And what's going to happen is people will start to actually associate the solution to their problem with you and their content. And this is called organic inbound client attraction. First we had the outbound with the messaging them, and now we've got the inbound with them coming to you as well. And once you do this over and over again, you'll start to get a base of money underneath you that you can then use to scale. And you can scale in multiple different ways. You can actually put money into advertising. That's YouTube ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, anything that seems to be working there. And that's really just to take out the manual work of what you are doing and really move the needle forward. And then you could start looking at things like building a website, creating funnels, all that complicated stuff that you really do not need to know at the moment. One of the biggest mistakes I see new people do when they get into consulting is they don't validate their idea. They don't do any market research. They don't reach out to anyone. They don't make any content either. Instead, what they do is they build a beautiful looking course and start running Facebook ads through it, when they should really be starting at step one, which is market research and planning and trying to ensure that your market is a good fit for what you're offering, rather than starting at step 8, which is pretty much throwing money on the fire. If you start at step 8 and you end up using expensive software to build out courses and start running expensive Facebook ads to promote these courses using language that you don't even know if your audience uses because you've not actually chatted to them, you might as well just get your wallet and get your card and just set fire to it, because it's pretty much like burning money. So to sum up exactly what you need to do, you need to be doing your market research, validating your idea, talking to your audience, very, very big key things. Then you need to be using organic outbound marketing and organic inbound marketing if you have validated your idea. And of course, you need to make sure this is based off an interest, because business can get hard and it can be a bit of a slog at times, particularly when you're not generating any money at the start, and the passion will let you carry yourself through. And only once you have made a bunch of sales and have a nice layer of money underneath you, then you want to be looking at building a website, then you want to be looking at building out your course, then you want to be looking at pouring petrol on the fire with Facebook ads and really cranking things up. But you need to make sure it actually works first before you go ahead and crank things up. Hope this was really helpful for you guys. If it was really helpful, please subscribe to the channel and please like this video. It helps me in the algorithm, and have a fantastic day.